So I think there is a sense in Michigan of, if not now, when? Will Harbaugh get it done this year?
Harbaugh will get it done this year.
He will win the Big Ten.
Yes. Bringing in Gaddis, Shea Patterson, another year in this system. And I also believe Harbaugh is more open to letting this offense kind of be in advantage for the guys that are actually in the offense. When you look at these receivers, Peoples-Jones, Black, they have some guys that can make plays on the other side of the ball. We know Ohio State is going to be good, but I just can't wrap around my mind that Harbaugh is going to lose to Ryan Day, right? If this was Urban Meyer, he's gotten the pass because of Urban Meyer, not because of the players, because this was Urban Meyer's team that was beating him. Now you bring in a first-year head coach and a transfer quarterback that hadn't seen a lot of time. You lose this game, Harbaugh would be on the hot seat at Michigan.
There is no reason to believe that Michigan will win. Seriously, there's really no reason to believe that. Going into last season's game, Michigan was favored. They had the #1 defense in the country. They got blown out. The gap in talent in college matters. Regardless of who is coaching the football team, the gap in the talent has been the difference between Ohio State and Michigan. There is no reason to believe that that gap has closed in one season. Ohio State wins it again.
Laura, I'm glad that you brought this up because this fascinates me, okay? We live in a world where we very seldom remember things that happened more than a year or two ago. Ohio State was not Ohio State before Urban Meyer got there, right? All these big programs have ebbs and flows. Alabama was not Alabama before Nick Saban got there. Clemson certainly wasn't anything like this before Dabo Swinney got there. So the question is, with the departure of Urban Meyer, do we see the end of this era of total domination of the conference and really national greatness by Ohio State?
The talent level is still there. Ryan Day has recruited very well in his 1 year. And he didn't just come from nowhere. He's been there under Urban Meyer. And because recruiting matters so much in college football, there is no reason at all to believe that Ohio State is going down at all.
Well, listen, no one knows this better than you do, Rutledge. You went to Florida. You still follow them closely. When Urban Meyer was there, they were as good a program as there was in the country. They won 2 championships. Where have they been since he departed?
Yeah, I mean, Dan Mullen was brought into Florida to try to repeat what Urban Meyer did. It's going to be hard for anyone to replicate exactly what Meyer did, but he did leave the cupboard very full, to your point, Joey.
Yes.
And I do think when you look at Ohio State and what's been part of their success, a lot of it's had to do with their offense. Ryan Day is still very involved in that offense, very involved with the development of Justin Fields. The one point I wanted to make about Michigan, that Ohio State game is at Michigan.
I just happen to believe.
If Michigan loses that game at home, I'm with you on that.
I just happen to believe that Urban Meyer had a lot more to do with this than we're giving him credit for. I'm telling you, man, when you look, Ohio State lost to Purdue. Like,
they did.
The talent gap
in Iowa the year before.
But that's my point. The talent gap is always there a lot of the time, but coaching sometimes overcompensates for that. Harbaugh has been out-coached by Urban Meyer, let alone the talent level. He get out-coached by Ryan Day, they might be a new coach at Michigan. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.